It's electric. It's growing vastly. In the last 5 years, it's gone from a small, little, unlikely cultural oasis to this huge event that you see around you today. Obviously, we host Art Basel Miami Beach, which is one of the largest art fairs in the world, together with I think over 50 parallel fairs which have sprung up, including Art Asia, Scope Miami, Pulse, NADA, just to mention a few. The scene relies on a core of local artists who throughout the year are making work and sort of getting to international acclaim. Throughout Basel, everyone focuses on making their works, putting on interesting shows. There are many large-scale museum exhibitions together with the things that they do down on the beach. Miami is the kind of place where artists can fall a few times without people really noticing. It's kind of like a testing ground for a lot of galleries. People try out various different mediums and careers before obviously making it to the international stage or even to New York, as you say. We are kind of a stop-off point for South America. We have a large Latin American population here, and a lot of collectors and philanthropists obviously have ties to that region so that they support those artists. In regard to the local sort of American scene, people and artists in Miami, they're always striving to obviously get the international recognition. Sometimes it's difficult because we're constantly battling against this supposition that Miami is not on a parallel level with places like LA or even like Chicago. It doesn't have the long sort of artistic roots that these cities have. It's a very new city, and it's traditionally been very much a party town. But thankfully, partly due to the fair and partly due to the perseverance and the quality of the artists here, it is rapidly getting to the point where we are able to act as a platform for artists. 2020 Projects, which is founded and run by Scott Murray, who is a local veteran of the Miami art scene. He's a young gallerist. 2020 Projects is an experimental project space located in the Wynwood Arts District. It's a small little hot space, but he's very well connected, and Scott, unlike a lot of dealers, is a superb curator. He has a wonderful sense of art and can really put a good show together. Locust Projects is Miami's sort of premier not-for-profit exhibition space. Much like 2020, it has shows which otherwise wouldn't be able to be put on in normal galleries simply because they are so experimental. They are a non-profit, so none of the work is for sale. And it's conceived generally as a space where artists can really go and explore their creativity without being confined by the support systems, without being confined by money. They are funded by grants, and Locust Projects offers grants to artists to come into Miami and to make these kinds of works. They often dedicate the whole exhibition space to one artist. They also have a project. It was founded by Cooper, who's a local Miami artist who now lives in New Mexico, Charles Weston and Elizabeth Winstanley. Miami is among the few cities in the world where there is an incredible sense of intimacy between just regular artists and struggling emerging artists and huge collectors, world-renowned collectors. Especially places like Locust Projects and 2020 Projects, where you would ordinarily not expect to find these sort of the movers and shakers of the art world. You can come across them. It's almost like lifting up a rock and finding them there. And they go to these places because in Miami they're renowned for like citing the emerging talent. These artists, just with a few shows, can then be collected by large collections like the Rubel collection or the Margulies collection. And as soon as that happens, then the international focus is on them. It's typified by this like wonderful combination of like hot contemporary art and these very raw concrete spaces. So essentially, it's very plainly, it's a beautiful place to go. It's not the kind of place that you'd want to hang around at night if it's not an opening night. The Wynwood District currently houses between 40 and 50 galleries, many of which are visiting international galleries. Throughout Art Basel, there are many fly-by-night galleries that open just to capture put their nets out and capture the tourists that are walking around. But every second Saturday, the Wynwood District opens its doors, and it becomes like Saint-Tropez. People are just like walking around on the streets, drinking wine, and it's a lot of fun.